This bustling historic port city on the Baltic Sea, widely regarded as Russia's cultural capital, and it's the noble art that's in the spotlight tonight as IBA.PRO 15 takes center stage. Well, into the boxing ring. In this contest in the super heavyweight division is Jamshid Khudoyberganov.
Svetoslav Teterin.
To compete in front of a home crowd.
Представляю вам соперников. Боксер в черном углу. Ему 26 лет. Его рост 2 метра и 2 сантиметра, а официальный вес 101,95 килограмма. Профессиональный рекорд. 3 победы, 3 единственном поражении и 1 ничьей. Дамы и господа, он победитель и участник чемпионатов Азии. Из Уркенча, Узбекистан. Приветствуйте, Jamshid Khudoyberganov. А вот и его соперник в золотом углу. Боксеру 28 лет. Его рост 190 сантиметров, а вес 110,5 килограмма. Сегодня у него профессиональный дебют, но он чемпион мира среди клубов армий 2025. Обладатель Кубка мира среди нефтяных стран 2024, серебряный призер чемпионата мира среди военнослужащих и 4-кратный серебряный и бронзовый призер чемпионата России. Дамы и господа, из Санкт-Петербурга, Россия, вот он, Святослав, питерский танк Тетерин.
Под затылку, ниже пояса не бьем. Пожали руки, слушаем на команду. По углам. Готов. Черный угол готов. Золотой угол готов. Боксеры готовы. Бокс.
So we're underway then. This is action in the super heavyweight division, scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. It's between boxers from Russia and Uzbekistan in the compact figure. Sporting the crew cut, coming forward behind authoritative jabs to the body. Look at him work the torso with that lead left stick. Svetoslav Teterin, 28 years of age, from right here in Russia, the taller figure, just turning a right uppercut underneath before looking to extend that lengthy jab, but he's being out-jabbed repeatedly here. Jamshid Khudoyberganov. Considerable height advantage favoring the man from Uzbekistan, who takes another thrusting jab just above the belt line, and then a left hook down to the body as well. He's looking for the right uppercut underneath, and the uppercut, of course, an effective shot against the compact, shorter opponents. And now he's trying to establish that long lead left stick. But again, look at the manner in which he's being out-jabbed. Jab, not all a matter of arm length. Teterin really busy. Down to timing as well, and he's using that lead left to both head and body very effectively indeed. Look at the variety on that lead left stick as he continues to work it up and down, up and down. And his opponent from Uzbekistan yet to find the range or distance with his own punches beyond the halfway stage of the opening round. No such difficulty for Teterin, who then turned in a left hook to the body. We're getting back to the shot that he's been using right from the opening bell. A pile driving left jab to both head and body. Scored with it 3 times in a row upstairs. And And the taller figure from Uzbekistan, well, he's got to be careful that he doesn't just follow his opponents around the ring here now. Teterin presenting a different posture, getting on the back foot, but then planting his feet and letting go a combination of arcing punches to both body and head. This is wonderful punch picking from Teterin. Again, he was forgiven. He thought that these were something other than super heavyweights because he's boxing at a really impressive clip. Look at the punches in bunches. Looking to punch with the more compact figure now is the man from Uzbekistan. But he's being outscored and outworked and outboxed for the first 2 minutes 50 seconds of this opening round. What a blistering opening 3 minutes produced by Svetoslav Teterin. Set about his man right from the opening bell and continued to target the body in particular of Jamshid Khudoyberganov.
Хороший джеб попадаешь, блядь, от него и пристрастие. И не 5
Some of the action from the first round. Seeing some of the successes from Khudoyberganov. The majority of the work with combination punching. The variety being demonstrated in the replay sequence here. Replay sequence giving the impression that it was a pretty even first 3 minutes, but that wasn't my impression from the commentary position. Because Teterin was incredibly busy right from the opening bell. Looking to continue that same industry and indeed artistry because he's putting wonderful variety on his shots. Here to start the second round, again working that jab up and down, dipping at the knees, varying the height of it, and it's keeping the man from Uzbekistan guessing. Khudoyberganov is waiting here, and in the meantime he's been scored upon frequently with the jab, and that jab down to the body will also serve to break him down. There he came back with a good counter right hand. This is a really active, dynamic display being produced. Terrific work with the lead left hand once again. And he's not presenting a very elusive target, Khudoyberganov, and nor is he able to turn his attributes of greater length and reach into an asset here tonight, because look at the manner in which he's being out-jabbed. There's a good reverse combination. The backhand came first and then he finished it with a jolting left hand which drove Teterin backwards. That will give him something to think about, and surely there needs to be more of that, just like that, on the front foot, poking out the left hand, but he was made to miss and then made to pay in the form of trip hammer left, which snapped squarely into the target. He's got to get busier here as Khudoyberganov. Right now, in the first 2 minutes of this second round, he's being outworked considerably once again. Khudoyberganov making his pro debut back in June of 2024, actually lost it. He's undefeated in his 4 fights thereafter in the professional ranks, but he's been pinned against the ropes after being driven backwards by another two-fisted flurry from Teterin. Teterin using the space of the ring very well indeed and presenting angles to his man, dipping at the waist, and the variety that he's demonstrating in these two-fisted attacks, almost bamboozling the man from Uzbekistan, his face reddening, betraying the amount of times that he's been touched up principally by that lead left hand as he got through once again in between the gloves before dropping it down to the body. Terrific work with the left hand, turned it into a corkscrew shot just a few moments ago. Left-right attempted on the belt from Khudoyberganov, but that's 6 minutes completed, and both of them, for my money, commanding rounds in favor of Teterin, the man from St. Petersburg.
Подходи к нему ближе. Дистанция. Ближе к нему, ближе. Сдавливаем, сталкиваем, отрабатываем. Опять к нему, сдавливаем его. Понятно, да?
Well, again, we're seeing some of these successes from Khudoyberganov, and he is competitive, he's certainly tough, but I'm not sure that these replay sequences are giving an accurate reflection in microcosm of the action that's been occurring during the course of the 3-minute stanzas. Because you could stop the hard disc at just about any time, and invariably you'd find Teterin letting his hands go, where he'd have to be a little more selective to find activity and accurate punch kicking from Khudoyberganov. But he's come out in this third round in aggressive fashion, getting off first, which is something of a rarity over the course of the completed 6 minutes. But then look at the price he's paid as that overarching right just caught him on the left side of his jaw. Terrific left jab once again from Teterin, disrupting the boxing stance of the taller man. And he is providing a wonderful example, Teterin, of how a longer, rangier opponent can be beaten with the jab. Doubling up the right hand, cross over the top, hook to the body before the mauling on the inside sees Teterin free his hands and score with a left hook downstairs. And for the uppercut, and the left hook is Khudoyberganov. Being driven to the perimeter of the boxing ring once again. Such variety evidence in the work of Svetoslav Teterin. Teterin sitting down on that backhand, following it up with a left to the face once again. And Khudoyberganov looking to fight fire with fire. He made it an exchange, but for my money it was first and third boxing, the first and final word coming from Teterin. He's showcasing his toughness and durability here, is Khudoyberganov, because he's taken an awful lot from this compact, muscular super heavyweight Svetoslav Teterin, who set about him right from the opening bell. Nice movement in the pocket from Teterin to avoid the incoming fire. There's a beautiful reverse 1-2 to conclude a 1-2-3 combination. Left, right, left. The first left perhaps inaccurate and serving as a rangefinder, but the backhand followed by another jolting left did inconvenience Teterin, but Teterin bites down and keeps himself in the pocket. Both men having their visages reddened here. Beautiful right uppercut, left hook turned underneath by Khudoyberganov. Straight back into the breach after the command of break is Teterin, and look at these marauding attacks that are keeping Khudoyberganov occupied, really having a difficult time keeping the man off. Cracking backhands exchanged during the course of that coming together, and it was Teterin's that appeared to be the more effective. But again, you have to credit the toughness, conditioning and commitment being demonstrated by Jamshid Khudoyberganov. Both men scoring effectively during the course of that third round, and each man's face beginning to mark up now. I still have to think, even though Khudoyberganov could perhaps enjoyed his best round of the contest, I still have to think that it's the man from St. Petersburg who's doing the better work and probably winning the contest. Some of the action from round number 3. Again, Khudoyberganov did have more success in finding his range. It resulted in some torrid exchanges. That perhaps his best punch of the contest, that right uppercut turned underneath. He went in search of the left hook immediately afterwards. So into the second half of the super heavyweight contest that has been fought at a blistering pace right from the opening bell, and the man who has set that pace, Svetoslav Teterin, back out onto the front foot once again, looking to take it to Jamshid Khudoyberganov. He's got him pinned against the ropes once again, and he's just becoming a little bit disorganized now, is Khudoyberganov. Continued front foot pressure being applied by the man from St. Petersburg. Drops down to the body once again, continuing to sink. Scything hooks just above the belt line and beneath the ribs of Khudoyberganov. Hooks driving him back and then following up with straight punches. And this is a terrific passage of the round being produced by Teterin. And Khudoyberganov's face being turned into a crimson mask here now. The referee allowing the boxers to work away. But I wonder whether he's going to allow Khudoyberganov to take too much more of this. He's showing a fighter's pride and a fighter's instinct as we approach the halfway stage of the round. He's always looking to compete. But he's being outboxed and outfought comprehensively through this mid-passage of round number 4. Simply cannot get himself off the ropes as a right hand swivels him to the side. Here he does turn the tables cleverly and look to impose his bulk on his more compact opponent, but back into the breach steps Teterin with a roundhouse right that was just wide of the mark. He finds himself in the invidious position now of having to either try to keep the man off or stand and fight, and neither tactic serving Khudoyberganov particularly well. He's being put in danger of being overwhelmed here with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th round. It has been one-way traffic from the bell to begin the second half of the contest. The mouthpiece has come out, and credit to him, he's trying to reinsert it of his own accord without taking a breather, which would happen if the referee intervened to take it back to the corner to get rinsed and reinserted. But look at this pressure being applied by Teterin and the unrelenting onslaught unleashed by the man from St. Petersburg, finally prompting the intervention of the referee. And you have to give credit to the toughness and commitment of Jamshid Khudoyberganov. But in the 4th round, he simply could not keep this compact pressure box fighter at bay. Letting two-fisted attacks go right from the bell to begin round number 4. Scarcely let the man off the ropes, and after giving him every opportunity, the referee, Mr. Gennady Materyosan, finally intervening to bring an end to the onslaught. A very impressive display indeed. Svetoslav Teterin, no doubt inspired by the prospect of boxing in front of his home fans here in St. Petersburg. He was on fire right from the opening bell, giving credit to his coaches because they were the ones who drew up the plan for him to follow, and my goodness, didn't he carry them out to a T. Have to give credit to Jamshid Khudoyberganov, the man from Uzbekistan. Really did compete with all that he had, but he wasn't able to utilize his greater length and reach. And it was Teterin who was out jabbing him right from the offset. Heavy jabs to the body in a bid to break the man down, then showing variety on him, switching it up to the head, and then began to bring the backhand into play in the form of a pile-driving right cross, scything hooks to both body and head. And in the 4th round, after Khudoyberganov enjoyed some success in the 3rd when he was able to get off first on occasion, certainly reddened the face of Teterin, but in the 4th round, Teterin went to another gear. Let's get the official particulars.
Рефери поединка Геннадий Мартиросян остановил бой через 2 минуты и 40 секунд 4-го раунда. Техническим нокаутом победу одержал Святослав питерский танк Тетерин.
So Svetoslav Teterin mowing down his opponents, producing a fourth round technical knockout, the referee intervening. And Jamshid Khudoyberganov simply could not keep this pressure boxer at bay. Very impressive display indeed of educated front foot pressure being applied by Teterin. He took some shots as well, showing his punch resistance when he had to. And that's often a fate that boxers lacking in inches find themselves subjected to. Did show good movement in the pocket on occasion, but took shots when he had to, but that just seemed to spur him into a higher gear. And despite the best efforts of Jamshid Khudoyberganov, simply could not get his boxing together, and they faced the non-stop front foot pressure that was applied from Svetoslav Teterin. Again, he did have successes. He certainly let Teterin know that he was in a contest, but the successes comparatively few and far between. Good hands, that man. That's the dislodged mouthpiece and reinserted of his own volition without the intervention of the referee. But this was the final flurry. Left hand over the top. Khudoyberganov seeking to sway over the top rope, and he simply couldn't evade the punches. Fourth round TKO scored by Svetoslav Teterin in front of his home fans here at the KSK Arena in St. Petersburg.
Дамы и господа, напоминаю, что